I was always wondering, how come people with zero education, who don't know anything, who don't know how to read or write, have every material possession they wanted, and people with a lot of education live a poor life, and some of them end up dying in misery. I know many of those people that were highly educated and died in misery. What is the principle that's behind this? How come those have everything and the others don't? For many years I struggled with this question in my own mind and in my own experience, but I got it eventually. Okay? And that's what I will talk about today and clarify it for you too, if you ever wondered about that. Okay, so welcome to my channel. My name is Gabriel with engineeringpossibility.com, and I will do my best to share with you my experience and knowledge about this topic. Now let's get into the subject. There are many people in my country, in Romania, that don't know anything about anything. They have a very poor vocabulary and they have a very limited perspective. They don't even know how to read or write. So in spite of all those things, they have every material possession they desire. They have everything. All they ever desire, they have it. So we are not talking here about morality. Okay? Some of those people don't do things in a moral way. Not all of them, but some of them don't do things in a moral way like we agreed with. And this is not the point. It's not about morality. It's about a principle. And the universe doesn't think in right or wrong. You can get things with integrity using this principle. You can get things with no integrity using this principle. But we don't talk about morality here. We are talking about a principle. We are talking about principle that is working every single time for every single situation. You follow this and you can have anything you desire. Like I told you, you can have it in a positive way as well as in a negative way. But that's your problem. That's not my problem or any other's problem, you know. There is no right and wrong. There are consequences. When you do something in a positive way, it will have certain consequences. If you do it in a negative way, it will have certain other consequences that you might not like it, you know. But you will still have it. Why I'm sure about this? Why I'm sure about this principle? Simply by experience. I used it many times and worked every single time. Not just once, every single time. Most of those times that I worked with this principle, I was completely unaware of it. I didn't know anything about it. Now I am using it as well, but the difference is that now I know. I am aware. I know what is happening. And now I know why it's happening. That's the most important thing. And I wanted to share this powerful knowledge with you because it will be useful to you every time you use it, every time you become aware of it and use it. In fact, this is not a secret that I'm talking about, that I discovered somehow, you know. It is common knowledge. But although people know about it, they don't put much importance because they don't fully understand it. When you are not aware about something working, and you are not correlated that what is working with this principle, you will not put much importance on it. And I'm sure you know people, a lot of people, including you and including me, who set some goals, right? Have some desires. And if you didn't set any goals, well, you should, because this is the way you take control of your life. If you don't have any objectives for your lives, if you don't have any desires for your lives, somebody else will have an objective for you, and you will work for them, for their objective actually, and you will be in survival. Suppose you did set goals. Suppose you did it just right, like your trainers told you, like your coach told you, but didn't happen. Most of your goals didn't manifest. Isn't that true? Isn't that so? Like me, you probably were frustrated because I did it right. I put it on paper. I did everything they said in a goal setting seminar, but it didn't work. It didn't show up on time. It's not there. And how come? I was really frustrated, especially because I had years and years of education and personal development specifically in this direction. And it didn't work. So I thought I was cursed, by someone. I thought something is wrong. So the universe don't want me to get there. So nothing seemed to work. In the same time, I was watching those people that had everything, and I couldn't believe what is happening. How the hell I can't have anything, and I know all those things, and they can, and they don't know anything about anything. So one day I got it, and everything started to make sense. One day I got it. I analyzed my life and realized that I used this knowledge many times, and it worked every time with no exception, but I wasn't aware about it. And I believe now you are pretty curious about this, right? Well, first I've heard about this long time ago when I was listening to Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale audiobooks. But although it was clear and I could understand it intellectually, I didn't put much importance on it. They were talking about having a burning desire at that time. They were talking about having a burning desire. That is why trainers and coaches say when it's important when you set goals to ask yourself, why do you want that? Why do you want that? That's why they say they don't put it as a burning desire. But what you want? Why do you want it? Many people treat this question very superficially. It's no wonder it doesn't work. It's no wonder nothing works. There will be people arguing about the fact that you shouldn't have a desire. Okay, I know many people that are arguing about that, because when you have a desire, it comes from a place of lack, from a place of scarcity, of absence, and you, according to the law of attraction, you will attract more lack. But I can guarantee that is not the case for this principle. It's not the case, and I'll explain you why. The word desire means of the Father, from the source. It's not from the ego, it's from the source. When you have a burning desire, it means the source, your highest self, your spirit want to experience through your avatar, through your body, want to experience that, what you desire. So is nothing wrong with this, because it comes from the source of the Father. That what desire means, of the Father. So you won't attract any lack in your life if you have a burning desire. But what does it mean, a burning desire? Well, it is not wanting something, or wishing for something, or hoping for something. Those come from the ego, and those will attract more lack, because you go from a place of scarcity or absence or of lack. Everything that comes from the ego, when you want something or wish for something or hope for something, has no power. And no wonder they don't manifest. Instead, a burning desire means to become obsessed about what you want. It's being to become desperate to get it. It's being as important as the air that you breathe. That's what burning desire is. That works for anything. When you want a job, when you want to open a business, when you want to have a new car or a new house or more money or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's becoming obsessed with it. And believe me, you will get it. You will get it absolutely every time. And I will give you an example when I experienced this. Even though I didn't know anything about this concept. For many years, I wanted to go to the United States. Many years, you know, with the communists, and I wanted to go to the United States. And all my thoughts were there. All my feelings were there. When I saw something from the United States, I would say something like this in my mind. I would say I would give 10 years of my life immediately for 5 minutes to be there. That's the obsession I had about this. And I was living in a city with about 50,000 people at the time. And why it was so impossible to get there? Because they wouldn't give you a visa. It was so hard at that time to get a visa, it was almost impossible. And nobody from that town had a visa. They had relatives in the United States, but they couldn't manage to get a visa. So I was thinking about any possibility, good or bad, you know, to go to Mexico, to pass, or to hide on a ship, or everything. I was obsessed about this. And in 1994, when the World Football Championship, Soccer Championship, was in Pasadena, California, I knew that's the moment. I knew it. I knew it with all myself that's the moment for me to do that. And that obsession put me in that place to take action immediately on that possibility. And I went to the agency that organized the trip, and I said, I want to go to the United States, to the World Soccer Championship. I don't like soccer or football. I don't have anything to do with that. I saw it as an opportunity. And they gave me a list for the visa, a list with things that I should do to get the visa. And I took it really, really, really seriously. I didn't have properties. I had a family, a nice family, but I didn't have properties. They said I didn't have anything. But in a matter of a week, I managed to have properties, you know. I have friends where I live, and they sold me the apartment and the farm and whatever. And I had a file like this thing, put it in order with everything there, with the pictures, with everything there, a big file. I went to the agency and give them the file. The others, they had the file like this thing. And they called me a week later that I got the visa without an interview. I didn't have to go to the embassy for the interview. That's how I did the file so good, because they don't need an interview with me. Okay? It became possible, and I was one in 50,000 people that had a visa, and I didn't have the money to go to the United States. I had the visa, I didn't have the money, so I showed my passport with the visa to everybody, and the guy said, "I want a visa." Okay, you want it bad? Well, I want it bad. Good, I will help you get a visa, you pay for my trip. And he said, okay. I did the same thing for him. He got the visa with no interview. So it is possible to have things out of nothing. I didn't have nothing, and it was almost impossible to get what I wanted to get at that time. But I got it. I went there. So the real question, when you desire something, how bad do you want it? When you go to an interview for a job, how bad do you want that job? Because if you want it bad enough, it doesn't matter what it is. You activate an incredible power within you. You activate an incredible system, and it becomes so important for you, it becomes part of your survival. And in fact, the moment you activate this thing, you activate an internal mechanism of survival. It's called the reticular activating system. It's within your brain. What is that? It's the gatekeeper. It's a gatekeeper. It's a badass secretary that won't let any information to the boss, to the cortex, that is not relevant or very important for your survival. And whatever you want becomes so important that becomes part of your survival, you activate that things. And if you analyze your life or the life of other people that you know, you'll know I'm right. Think about moments when you really needed help or needed resources, when you really needed to do something or to get somewhere. You did it, right? Think about if I don't want to think about that, but if something dear to you have a problem and you need to help him and you don't have the resources or you don't have whatever it takes to help him, what would you do? Anything you would do, anything. And you will get the resources, believe me. And I know you can think of moments in your life that you activated those things within you. When I was in such situations, and I was in many of those situations, I did it every time, no matter how difficult they were, no matter how impossible they seemed. Because in those moments you don't care about obstacles, you don't care about challenge or other people's opinion or about rejection. You don't care about anything. You are totally focused on doing what is necessary and nothing else matters. And when you are focused and you activate those things within you, it works. Of course it works. Now, how many of your goals are like that? Tell me, how many of your goals, how many of your objectives, how many of your desires are like that? Probably not many, right? No wonder they don't work. No wonder they don't show up. If you just want something, or wish for something, or even worse, hope for something, it will not happen. I don't care if you put it on paper, if you think of it, if you repeat it, if you, I don't know, if you do affirmations or whatever, subliminals, it won't happen. Only a burning desire. Only when you are hungry enough, only when you become desperate, when you become obsessed, you will do everything and anything necessary for it to happen. Only in that case. You will activate resources within yourself, talents and powers that you had no clue they were there. You know, like Wayne Dyer said about this, dormant forces and talents and powers come alive. They are there, but they are not activated. How they can be activated? Having a burning desire, having an obsession about what you want, about the job you want, the relationship you want, about the money you want, about the house you want, about the car you want. You got to become obsessed with it. If you won't be focused enough. You won't do whatever it takes. You'll procrastinate. You won't have the energy. Only when you have that kind of desperation. Desperation is good in this case. Okay? Desperation is not only bad, in this case it's good because it will give you a tremendous amount of energy. Well, what do you think? Think about this. Think about this for a while. Take it seriously. Analyze your life. And think on moments that you did this. And think of that in those moments you succeeded on this. I analyze my life. I analyze other people's life. And I analyze moments, specific moments that work with this kind of principle, with this principle. And always worked. Always, with no exception. Okay? So, if you decide to take full control of your life, if you want to take full control of your life, I am here and I still have more valuable information for you and your journey, but on the next video. So stay tuned for the next lesson, and if you didn't subscribe yet, just hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you will be notified when I put new content. And if this video helped you in any way, I'll appreciate if you comment on it, if you ask me questions about it, and if you share it with others. I'm sure you know people that really needs to become aware of this, you know, because they have so much power within them, but they're not aware of it. So I know you know people. Share it with them. I look forward to see you on the next lesson. Until then, I wish you all the best. And God bless you. And don't forget, how bad do you want it? Thank you.